Yo guys, what is up? Welcome to another video. Okay, so as you can see, we've made a bit of progress since the last video. So first thing you probably notice is we've got a metal plate in the bottom and we've also got a battery holder. So this 3D printed battery holder is really good. It's got like some bolt holes on it, so it fits to the frame, also helps increase its structural rigidity. And we've got a little hole in here for the cable that goes through there. And the battery fits in nice and snug. So there's not a lot of wobble there. So that's all good. What else we got? Right, so all these little gears on here, these are all the potentiometer gears. I think in the last video we only had one black one. Now we have all four of those fitted, apart from this one, but we'll do that in a minute. What else we got? All the steering motors, they're all fitted now. So we've got four of them. Okay, so we're using the IBT2 motor controller. Apparently it's rated at like 42 amps, but I think it's safe to say that 10 amps is probably its limit. Also using the Arduino Mega, and we're also using an Arduino Uno with a USB shield and a sensor shield. So these two Arduinos, they're connected up via the I2C, and basically this one here, the Mega, is just taking signals from the Uno, which is running with the PS3 controller. Yeah, I didn't really want to connect the USB shield directly up to the Arduino Mega because it takes up quite a lot of pins and it's also a pain in the ass to sort out. So having it separate, it gets rid of a lot of problems. Right, so yeah, anyway, back to the speed controller. We got four of those. Three of them are still in the bags because they only arrived a couple of days ago. We've also got the 36 volt to 24 volt converter. So this will be used for the steering motor controllers because they're 24 volts, and the battery we're using is 36 volts, and the motors are 36 volts. So instead of having two 36 volt batteries and a 24 volt battery, we're doing it this way. Right, so a few other things before we put that thing back on. So I made this, which is now obsolete. It's supposed to clip in there, and then we get the Flip Sky motor controllers for the wheels. That just goes in there nice like that. And I've also made these nice new plugs on the end. These are waterproof, salted them all up tidy. So all of the speed controllers, they're going to have these plugs. I've done some of the motors, so like this one here, and this one, and this one, and I've got one more Flip Sky speed control to sort out with the new plugs. So the advantage of using these new plugs, well, let's go talk about the disadvantages of the old plugs. So there's three wires here. They're a pain in the ass to clip in. So you got to push them in really hard, and they're really hard to get off. So they're probably going to break at some point. Whereas these waterproof plugs, these are great. But they take quite a while to set up. Like obviously connecting all these other little wires, because you can't put big wires in here. And then anyway, right, enough about plugs. So yeah, so the reason it's obsolete is because there's a hole in here for the cable to go through, and these plugs, they don't go through. So I'm probably just going to cut the top off it, and then it'll be okay. Right, next bit. What's the next bit? Right, let's mention about this metal plate at the bottom. So I'm not going to flip it over because all the stuff's going to fall off, but it's screwed together, lots of screws, all to this frame stuff. It's definitely added quite a lot to the structure. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Right, so okay, right, this wheel, this is how the wheels are made. I don't know if I showed you before, but it's got this bit in the middle, and I've had to modify, you can't really see, so I'll show you one that's not a part of it. This funny shaped piece of plastic. This goes on the side and it holds the cable down. Let's find a cable, so say that's that. Cable goes through the loop, and then that just stops it getting munched in the gears. It keeps it in the middle. Simple solution to a tricky problem. Right, so anyway, go back to here. So this is the wheel hub. So as you've all seen these before. So wheel hub, bearing there, and we've got a bearing to go on the top. But I've been thinking, I got these off eBay the other day. They're really cheap. It was like £3 for 4. So what it is, it's a thrust bearing. So this is really good for having like a load going like up and down ways with this orientation. Whereas these bearings, they're good for the other way around. They're good for holding a load sideways. So what I was thinking is having a normal bearing at the bottom to keep it straight, and then this bearing at the top to support the weight. So I think they should be pretty much exactly the same size. So what I'll do, I'm just going to put one in now anyway. Right, but it's a bit fiddly with this. I got to put the bearing in at the same time as the wheel goes in. And the wheel goes in this way, so the cables are facing the middle. And this is just going to clip in like so. Oh, I've got to put the bearing in first. Forgot about that. Right, back out again. And then put the bearing up. And get it back in. Oh! Right, let's try that again. It's not normally this tricky, but then I don't normally have a camera in the way, so let's blame the camera. Right. Attempt number 2. Okay, it's going in, it's going in, it's going in. Right, it's doing good. Okay, so... Right, that's in the correct position now. So, all the gears matching up. All nice. Right, so it's held together. We got one of these bolts at the bottom. Is it this one? Yep. No, yep. No, it's not that one. We use a smaller bolt at the bottom. This is a 20mm M8. Oh, that's it. I got one here. Right, I'll use that one. Right, that goes in the bottom. Line at the bearings. There we go. And then there's a little bolt on the side which I've got to tighten up. There we go. Now it's tightened up. Right, so we got potentiometer, and we got the other bolt with a gear on it. So this one's stuck on there, so it's not going to move as the wheel turns. This is going to turn. So again, that goes in the hole, and then I'm just going to tighten up the screw, which is going to lock that nut, lock that bolt. Sorry, you don't want to lock nuts. Okay. So now when that turns, it's going to turn the gear. Right, so I'll just show you quick. This is going to be without the potentiometer. And also remember, this is 12 volts. The motors are rated at 24. This has got to be the worst angle ever. Right. Right, here we go. So I'll try and position it so you can see good steering angle. Right, so that's in line with the table. So if you really want to, you could get a protractor out on the screen and work out how much steering degree angle it's actually got. So I'll try and do it enough so it doesn't ungear itself from the teeth. Okay, that's about the limit without going off the gear that way. So if you want to pause it and draw a line on your monitor or whatever with a permanent marker, and then in 3, 2, 1, we'll go the other lock. Right, I think that's about the limit as well. So all in all, I think it's supposed to be somewhere around 135 degrees, I'm not 100%. And back again. Okay, so that's the steering, that's how it's assembled. That's how it's fitted on the car, and that's also how it works. The next thing we're going to have to do is do something with this cable. As you see, obviously the motor, when it turns in, the cable's going to be further in, like here. So the cable's going to be able to move like that, which is a bit of a pain. I was talking to somebody today, and they reckon if I put like a small loop like that, that's going to help quite a lot, but I think it needs, I don't know, Really what I should have done is before putting these connectors on, made the wires a bit longer, but it's too late now. Right, so speed controller, as you can see, plug, plug. Right, this is the output for the speed controller. This is the output for the hoverboard motor. And there we go, motor is connected. Okay, it's that easy. Hall sensor. Bam, job done. Okay, so you can literally speed controller, hall sensor, put it on, take it off, and even less time. So, you know, serviceable parts, changing parts quickly. That's all this. Right, the potentiometer, I don't know if I had this before. Obviously you want to make sure it's in the middle. Let's just say that's in the middle. So we got a couple of slots, so if you can't make it perfect, make it adjustable. That's exactly where this is. Right, so that just goes on there, a couple of screws in, holds it in place. And then we've got we've got a measured steering angle and the Arduino, and we've got precise control. So all the wheels are going to be, they're going to be controlled together, but they're going to move independently. And there's going to be different steering options. So either all four can turn in, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there's a situation where you just might want the front wheel steering and the back wheel staying the same. Like for a traditional sort of car style, I don't know. It depends, like, I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this yet, but I might like sell some or something. If somebody wants one, I might make one for them. Or, I don't know, maybe sell parts for them. So there's metal plates on the side. You can see we also have another one over here, which this one's a bit messier. So again, goes on there. But I need to think about what's going on with these plugs. Do I want to make a hole in the metal, or do I want to have it going over the top? I'm not too sure yet. And also, because there's going to be 2 batteries inside, there's going to be 4 of these VSC controllers. There's not going to be enough space for lots of other stuff, so I've decided it's going to have to be a 2-tier electronics thing. So there's going to be a lid on top, which the Arduinos are going to go on into this with the motor controller, and then we'll have the transformer and another 4 steering controllers. Okay, so that's it pretty much assembled. Obviously it could be a bit tidier, but it's not finished yet. It's not finished yet. It's going to be probably like, I don't know, like a few more weeks or so. But I'm hoping as soon as I've got the rest of these like steering controller things set up and finished doing all these cables with the motors and stuff, I'll at least be able to take it out for a test run. So that's it. I don't know if you want to like the video or something. It probably helps, like YouTube algorithm and shit like that. Yeah, subscribe if you wanna see what this car's like when it's going and once it's all done. I mean, I'm hoping it's going to be done at some point, but it just seems to be taking a while at the moment. Okay, that's it, and thanks for watching.